Hey dreamers, welcome to the Sleepy Dreamer. Before we dive in, I'd love to know, where in the world are you watching from? And what time of day is it for you right now? Morning, afternoon, or maybe even late at night? Drop it in the comments. I'm always curious to see where my dreamer family is tuning in from. When we think about mornings, most people imagine rushing out of bed, checking their phone, and immediately diving into the chaos of the day. But for dreamers, mornings carry a very different kind of magic. They're not just the start of a new day. They're the bridge between the dream world and the waking world. That fragile moment when your body wakes up, but your mind is still half in the places you visited during sleep, is one of the most powerful times to shape your mood, your energy, and your focus. If you treat your mornings with intention, they become more than just a routine. They become a soft landing pad from the world of dreams into the reality you're about to create. Imagine it like this. Every morning is a reset button. No matter what happened yesterday, no matter what you were worrying about last night, the morning gives you a chance to begin again. For dreamers, especially those of us who feel things deeply, mornings can set the emotional tone for the entire day. Wake up gently, and you carry that gentleness with you. Start with stress, and your whole day feels rushed. The way you rise, the way you breathe in those first few minutes, it all matters more than most people realize. What makes mornings especially important is that they are quiet. The world hasn't fully woken up yet. Notifications aren't buzzing. Responsibilities aren't demanding your attention. And it feels like you've been given a secret pocket of time that belongs only to you. It's in this silence that you can listen to yourself, to your body, to your heart, to the fragments of dreams still clinging to your memory. If you slow down long enough to honor this time, you start to notice how mornings can almost feel like a conversation with yourself, a gentle check-in before life gets loud again. For dreamers, mornings are not about jumping straight into productivity or ticking boxes off a list. They're about aligning with the energy you want to carry through your day. If you want calmness, you build calm into your morning. If you want creativity, you give yourself space to play with your thoughts before the world interrupts them. And if you want joy, you plant little seeds of happiness. Maybe through music, maybe through journaling, maybe just by sitting in the sunlight for a few minutes. Think about it this way. Mornings are a mirror. However you start your day often reflects how the rest of it will unfold. And the best part? You're the one holding the mirror. You get to choose what it shows you. That's why creating mindful morning habits is so important, because they give you control over the reflection. Even something as small as taking 3 deep breaths before reaching for your phone can change the way you experience the next 12 hours. The truth is, dreamers live in 2 worlds, the one we imagine while we sleep, and the one we move through while awake. Mornings are the doorway between them, and how you step through that doorway determines whether you carry a piece of your dreams with you or leave them behind. When you start treating your mornings as sacred, as something worth protecting, you'll notice the difference. Life feels less heavy, less rushed, and a lot more like your own. Most people think of waking up as something abrupt, almost violent. The alarm goes off, loud and jarring, and the body is thrown into the day before the mind has even caught up. But the truth is, the way you wake up is just as important as the amount of sleep you get. For dreamers who spend the night wandering through whole landscapes of imagination, the transition into waking life is delicate. If you treat it roughly, you risk losing that connection with yourself before the day even begins. But if you approach it gently, you can turn the act of waking into something almost sacred, a ritual that honors both your rest and your dreams. The secret power of a gentle wake-up lies in how it communicates to your body and mind. A harsh alarm shouts, "Get up, hurry, there's no time," while a soft wake-up whispers, "It's safe to rise, the day is waiting for you, and there's no need to rush." That message makes all the difference. Your nervous system feels it. Instead of starting your day with cortisol, the stress hormone that floods your body when you're startled awake, you start with calmness, balance, and presence. And that sense of peace doesn't just stay with you for the first few minutes. It colors the entire day. Imagine waking up to sunlight slowly filling the room instead of a piercing sound. The light eases your body into wakefulness, gently reminding your brain that it's morning. Or imagine waking to the sound of soft music, something that feels like it belongs to your inner world of dreams. Even a simple change, like using a quieter alarm or a natural light clock, can completely shift how you feel about mornings. Instead of dreading the sound that drags you from sleep, you look forward to a wake-up that feels kind. But a gentle wake-up isn't only about alarms or sunlight. It's about the first moments you allow yourself when your eyes open, instead of instantly reaching for your phone and letting the noise of the world crash in. Take a few breaths. Notice how your body feels after resting. Maybe you still remember fragments of a dream. Write them down or just hold them for a moment before they slip away. Let your body stretch slowly, like you're giving it permission to enter the day on its own terms. That pause, that patience, is where the secret power lives. There's also something deeper that happens when you wake gently. You send yourself the message that your mornings belong to you. They're not immediately for work, not for deadlines, not for responsibilities or stress. They are yours first. And when you begin the day from that place of ownership, you move through everything else with more control, more calm, and more clarity. It's like laying down a foundation of softness before you walk into a world that might be anything but soft. A gentle wake-up is, in many ways, the dreamer's way of saying, "I choose to carry the calm of the night into the light of the morning." It's a reminder that you can set the tone instead of letting the day dictate it for you. And when you practice this consistently, it doesn't just change your mornings. It changes how you view time, energy, and yourself. You start to see mornings not as a hurdle to get over, but as a gift you give yourself every single day. There's a small, almost invisible moment in the morning that most people skip over. It's the breath you take before you even move, the pause before you step out of bed. For dreamers, this moment is everything. It's where the body wakes up not through alarms or movement, but through oxygen, the most simple and powerful tool we have to ground ourselves. Breathing deeply before leaving the bed may seem like a small act, but it's one of the most transformative ways to set the tone for the day ahead. Think about it. All through the night, your breath has been steady, quiet, automatic. Your body has been resting, repairing, and processing the events of the day before. When you open your eyes, the first conscious thing you do is inhale. That breath is not just air, it's a signal. It tells your brain that a new day has begun, that energy is returning, that life is waiting to be lived. Most of us don't notice it, but when you bring awareness to that first breath, you create a moment of intention. You claim your day instead of being swept into it. Deep breathing is more than just a ritual. It's a biological reset. When you inhale slowly and fully, filling your lungs as much as you can, you send oxygen rushing through your bloodstream. Your heart rate begins to stabilize. Your nervous system calms. and your body gently shifts out of the dreamy haze of sleep into a state of alert presence. It's like telling every cell in your body, wake up, but do it softly. And when you exhale fully, releasing the stale air that's been sitting in your lungs overnight, you're not just letting go of carbon dioxide. You're symbolically letting go of yesterday, of anything heavy, of the tension you don't want to carry forward. For dreamers, this practice becomes a bridge between the world of night and the day ahead. Imagine lying there, eyes still half closed, and taking 3 slow breaths. On the first breath, you notice how your body feels. On the second, you notice your mind. Maybe it's calm, maybe it's cluttered, maybe it's still hanging on to fragments of a dream. On the third breath, you notice your heart, the quiet emotions resting there before the outside world stirs them up. With just 3 breaths, you've already grounded yourself in a way that most people don't take time for all day. The beauty of this practice is its simplicity. You don't need anything but yourself. No equipment, no perfect environment, no ritual beyond the breath. It's something you can do under the covers, eyes closed, before anyone even knows you're awake. And yet, the effect it has ripples out through the hours that follow. You move differently when you've started with oxygen. You think more clearly, you feel less rushed, and your body feels less shocked by the transition from rest to movement. Breathing before leaving the bed also carries a symbolic power. It's a way of telling yourself, I am not rushing into this day, I am arriving. Too often, mornings feel like being thrown into the world, but when you pause to breathe, you reclaim the pace. You step into your day like a dreamer steps into a new landscape, curious, steady, unhurried. And in that way, the breath becomes more than just air. It becomes a declaration that you will not be dragged into the day mindlessly, but will meet it with presence, with calm, and with intention. Even if the rest of the day becomes hectic, even if unexpected problems show up, that first breath stays with you. It becomes a memory your body carries, a reminder of how you began. And sometimes that's all you need. One small, quiet anchor that keeps you connected to yourself, no matter how loud the world gets. There is a reason why stepping into the sunlight feels like a blessing, especially in the morning. Long before alarms, schedules, and artificial light, human beings lived by the rhythm of the sun. We rose with it. We rested with it. And its gentle glow told our bodies everything we needed to know about the time of day. For dreamers who spend the night floating in the soft landscapes of sleep, sunlight is the signal that the night has ended, the dreams are complete, and a new day is ready to begin. It isn't just light, it is a natural invitation to wake fully, to return to the world with warmth and clarity. When the morning sun first touches your skin, it's doing more than simply brightening the room. That light is telling your brain to stop producing melatonin, the hormone that makes you feel drowsy. At the same time, it encourages the release of cortisol in a balanced, healthy way. Not the stress-filled cortisol that comes from rushing, but the gentle kind that energizes you and helps you focus. In other words, sunlight doesn't just wake you up. It calibrates your body's entire internal clock, reminding every cell inside you that it's time to begin again. There's something poetic about letting sunlight, not an alarm clock, guide your waking. It feels softer, more human, more aligned with the natural world. Imagine opening your curtains in the morning and allowing the golden light to spill across the room. You don't even need to do anything. Simply sit there for a few minutes, feeling it against your skin, and notice how your body responds. The warmth, the brightness, the gentle energy that seems to seep into you. It all works together to lift the fog of sleep in a way no cup of coffee ever truly can. Even if you live in a place where mornings are cloudy or the sun doesn't shine as brightly, stepping outside for a short while still makes a difference. The natural light, even hidden behind clouds, is far more powerful than any lamp or artificial bulb. That exposure tells your body it's daytime, which strengthens your sleep cycle for the next night too. In a way, honoring the morning sun isn't just about today. It's also a gift you give your future self, ensuring that when night comes again, your body knows how to rest deeply. For dreamers, sunlight in the morning can also feel like a cleansing. It's the moment when the dream world fades into memory and the waking world becomes sharp and real. The sun washes away the heaviness of night and replaces it with clarity. Some mornings you may feel sluggish, like your mind is still wandering in places you can't quite remember. But then you step into the light, and it's as if the world gently reminds you, you are here, you are alive, and this day is yours to shape. Sunlight also carries a kind of quiet joy. Birds sing differently in the morning, flowers open, and the air feels fresher, lighter. Even if you're not someone who naturally feels energized in the early hours, simply standing in the sun can lift your mood in ways you might not expect. Scientists call this the effect of vitamin D, but dreamers might call it something else. A reminder that life is still beautiful, that there is warmth and hope even in the smallest rituals. You don't have to turn this into a complicated routine. Just a few minutes of sunlight is enough. Step onto a balcony, stand by a window, or walk outside barefoot if you can. Let yourself notice the way the light changes the colors around you, how it feels on your face, how it turns an ordinary morning into something sacred. This is not about forcing productivity or rushing into your day. It's about honoring the natural rhythm of life and letting that rhythm guide you gently forward. When you make this a practice, you'll start to see mornings differently. They won't feel like a barrier to push through or a burden to carry. They'll feel like an opening, a door that sunlight pushes wide, inviting you to step into a day that is fresh, unspoiled, and waiting. And every time you choose to welcome that light, you remind yourself of something dreamers often forget. You don't have to leave your dreams behind when you wake. You can carry their softness, their mystery, and their inspiration with you. And sunlight is the bridge that helps you do it. The body has its own quiet language, and one of the most overlooked ways it speaks to us is through the need to stretch. After a night of lying still, wrapped in dreams, the muscles grow stiff, the joints tighten, and the blood slows its rhythm. When you wake, before you rush into the day, there is a moment where your body is asking for release, for space, for breath to flow through it again. Stretching in the morning is not just about flexibility or exercise. It is about honoring the vessel that carries you, reminding it that it is alive, awake, and ready to move forward. Think of animals, cats, dogs, even birds. The very first thing they do upon waking is stretch. They arch their backs, extend their limbs, spread their wings. It is instinct, something written into their biology. Humans share this same instinct, but most of us have silenced it with rushing schedules and hurried mornings. We roll out of bed and immediately look for something external, a phone, a cup of coffee, a distraction, instead of listening to the body's quiet call. Stretch me, wake me, let me feel space again. Dreamers, however, have the gift of awareness. We can reclaim this natural ritual and turn it into one of the most grounding parts of the morning. A morning stretch doesn't need to look like a workout. It can be as simple as raising your arms above your head, lengthening the spine, and taking a deep breath as though you were greeting the sky. It can be rolling your shoulders, loosening your neck, bending slowly forward to feel your back unfold. These gentle movements tell your body, you are safe to wake, you are safe to move, you are safe to begin. And as the muscles soften, as the tension of sleep is released, you feel lighter, clearer, more ready to meet the world. There is also a mental magic in stretching. The act of opening your body mirrors the act of opening your mind. When you stretch, you are quite literally expanding. You are saying no to smallness, no to tightness, no to staying closed. Instead, you are saying yes to space, yes to possibility, yes to the day that lies ahead. It is a physical affirmation, a silent ritual that connects the body and the spirit. For dreamers, stretching is also a bridge. At night, we curl into ourselves, small and protected, wrapped in blankets and the safety of dreams. Morning is the time to uncurl, to expand, to remind ourselves that the world outside is waiting. With every stretch, you release a piece of the night. The stiffness is not just in your muscles. It is the residue of yesterday, of worries, of heaviness. When you stretch, you let it go. You create room for new energy to enter. You don't have to follow any strict routine. You don't need a yoga mat or a sequence, or even much time. 5 minutes can transform how you feel. Some people like to pair stretching with breath, inhaling as they reach upward, exhaling as they fold down. Others like to stretch while still in bed, lengthening arms and legs in every direction like a starfish. It doesn't matter how you do it. What matters is the awareness, the choice to greet your body with kindness before demanding anything from it. Over time, this practice becomes something you crave. You notice how much lighter your mornings feel when you give your body space. You notice how pain softens, how energy flows more easily, how stress has less room to settle in. You begin to realize that stretching is not just about preparing for the day physically. It is about preparing emotionally, mentally, and even spiritually. It becomes a statement. I am awake. I am open. I am ready. And maybe, if you listen closely, you'll find that stretching is also a continuation of dreaming. In the dream world, we are limitless, moving through landscapes without the boundaries of the physical body. When we wake, stretching is our way of remembering that limitlessness, of saying that even in the physical world we can expand, we can reach, we can grow. The body becomes an echo of the dream, and the dream lingers a little longer through the morning. Hydration is one of those things we often overlook, even though it is absolutely vital, especially first thing in the morning. While we've been sleeping, our bodies have gone hours without water, slowly losing fluids through breathing, sweating, and even just the quiet work of our organs. When we wake, our system is slightly dehydrated, and giving it water immediately is like offering a soft, kind signal. I see you. I care for you. Here is what you need to function fully. For dreamers who navigate vast landscapes of imagination at night, this act of hydration is a gentle tether back to the physical world, a bridge between the ethereal and the tangible. Drinking water in the morning does more than quench thirst. It kickstarts the metabolism, flushing out toxins that have accumulated overnight. It awakens the organs that were resting and signals to the brain that it's time to engage fully. Many people reach for coffee or tea first, which can give a temporary jolt, but also put stress on the system. Starting with water is different. It is gentle, nourishing, and restorative. Even a single glass can shift how your body feels in those first crucial minutes. You feel lighter, cleaner, more ready to move and breathe fully. There's a ritualistic beauty to drinking water slowly, thoughtfully as you wake. Instead of gulping down whatever's convenient, you can take the time to notice its temperature, the way it slides down your throat, the way it awakens every cell. Each sip becomes an act of mindfulness, a way of connecting with your own body. For dreamers, this can feel almost magical. The fluid that sustains life, helping to ground you in reality after a night of boundless imagination. Some like to pair this first hydration with a moment of gratitude. Holding the glass in your hands, feeling its coolness, you might silently acknowledge your body, your health, or simply the day ahead. That moment, small as it may seem, creates an awareness that the day is not just a series of tasks to accomplish, but an experience to inhabit fully. Water, in this sense, is not merely a nutrient. It is an anchor, a ritual, a reminder that taking care of yourself is a priority before giving yourself to the world. There are small enhancements you can try to make this ritual even more grounding. Adding a squeeze of lemon, a pinch of salt, or even a few drops of herbal infusion can turn the act of drinking water into a sensory experience. The slight tang, the taste of the earth, the subtle aroma, all these awaken the senses in ways that feel nurturing rather than stimulating. It's a quiet celebration of the body's needs and an invitation to honor them. For those who move immediately after waking, drinking water first can also protect the muscles and joints, easing the transition from stillness to motion. It lubricates the body, supports digestion, and even improves mental clarity. For dreamers who are naturally reflective or imaginative, that clarity is essential. Without it, the creative mind may wander too far, leaving you feeling scattered or foggy. With a moment of hydration, you start to channel that mental energy more efficiently, without losing the softness and depth that make dreaming so precious. The beauty of morning hydration is its simplicity and consistency. It requires nothing fancy, no special equipment, no hours of preparation, just a glass of water and your awareness. Yet, repeated over days, weeks, and months, it builds a foundation of care and intention. It becomes a small but powerful statement to yourself. I am here. I am attending to my needs. I am ready to face the day with clarity and grace. In essence, drinking water in the morning is more than a health habit. It's a bridge from sleep to wakefulness, from dreaming to action, from rest to presence. It reminds us that even the smallest, most ordinary acts can carry intention and beauty. For the dreamer, this act grounds you, nourishes you, and prepares you for whatever the day may bring, allowing the magic of your imagination to flow gently into reality. The mind is often the last thing we attend to when we wake up, yet it is one of the most important. For dreamers, the night is a labyrinth of thoughts, images, and emotions, some vivid, some fleeting, some puzzling. Morning is the time when these fragments linger, still hovering at the edge of consciousness, and how we interact with them can set the tone for the entire day. Taking a few intentional minutes for mental clarity is not about forcing focus or discipline. It is about acknowledging the mind's presence, gently guiding it, and allowing it to settle into a calm, receptive state. Journaling is one of the most effective tools for this practice. Even a few lines scribbled without judgment can help unload the mind. The act of writing captures thoughts that might otherwise swirl endlessly, freeing space for creativity and clarity. You don't need structure, prompts, or even full sentences, just the raw expression of what is on your mind. For dreamers, journaling in the morning can be like capturing fragments of the night, the fleeting scenes of dreams, and making them tangible. In doing so, you honor your inner world while also preparing to engage with the outer one. Meditation too can be a powerful way to create mental clarity. It doesn't have to be long or complicated. Even 5 minutes of sitting quietly, focusing on your breath, and observing thoughts without judgment can be transformative. This practice trains the mind to notice without getting caught up, to witness without reacting. For someone who has spent hours in the limitless landscapes of dreams, meditation offers a grounding anchor, a way to come fully into the present moment without losing the softness and expansiveness that make dreaming so valuable. Visualization is another technique that complements morning mental clarity. As you sit or stand quietly, take a moment to imagine the day unfolding. Picture yourself moving through tasks with ease, engaging with people with kindness, and navigating challenges with resilience. Visualization does not create rigid plans. Rather, it creates a sense of preparedness and calm. For dreamers, it is a bridge between imagination and reality, a gentle way of channeling the creativity and fluidity of the night into purposeful, grounded action. Mindfulness exercises, like noticing the sensations in your body, the sounds in your environment, or the rhythm of your breathing, can also center your mind. Each small observation reminds you that you are awake, alive, and present. It slows the rush of thoughts and provides a pause, a brief but vital moment to reconnect with yourself before the demands of the day take over. This awareness can transform how you perceive the world, turning ordinary moments into experiences of depth and attention. Sometimes, mental clarity can be achieved simply by reviewing intentions. Ask yourself, what do I hope to carry into today? What would make today meaningful? What energy do I want to embody? These questions are not about productivity in a conventional sense. They are about aligning your mind, heart, and spirit with the day ahead. For dreamers, this alignment ensures that the imagination of the night is not lost, but translated into a way of experiencing life more fully, more gently, more intentionally. The key is consistency. Making even a small morning ritual for mental clarity habitual rewires the way you begin each day. You begin to notice how different it feels to approach the day from a place of calm and awareness versus rushing blindly into tasks. Your thoughts feel less scattered, your creativity flows more naturally, and even challenges feel more manageable. For dreamers, this clarity does not diminish imagination. Instead, it focuses it, like sunlight passing through a prism, revealing colours that were always there, but unseen in the haze of half-consciousness. Morning mental clarity is ultimately an act of self-respect. It says, I honour my mind, I honour my inner world. I will not allow the chaos of the day to begin before I am ready. It reminds you that the mind, like the body, needs gentle attention, intention, and care. And for dreamers, it provides the perfect bridge from the limitless possibilities of the night into the purposeful presence of the day, ensuring that every thought, every idea, and every feeling has a place, a purpose, and a gentle space to exist. The way we nourish ourselves in the morning has a profound impact on our energy, focus, and emotional balance throughout the day. For dreamers, whose nights are filled with vivid imagery, complex scenarios, and the subtle ebb and flow of emotions, breakfast is not just a meal, it is a ritual, a way to honour both the body and the mind after hours of rest. The act of eating slowly, thoughtfully, and with intention transforms an ordinary necessity into a grounding, mindful experience, setting the tone for how we carry ourselves through the day. Starting the day with something wholesome allows your body to feel cared for and capable. It doesn't have to be complicated or gourmet. Simple foods that are natural, nourishing, and satisfying often have the most profound effect. Fresh fruits, whole grains, nuts, yogurt, or a warm bowl of oatmeal provide steady energy without overwhelming the system. These foods do more than fuel the body. They communicate to your brain and organs that they are respected, that their work is valued, and that you are committed to maintaining balance between energy and ease. For dreamers, this connection between nourishment and self-respect is crucial because it reinforces the idea that even in a world where imagination runs free, the body remains a sacred and essential vessel. Eating mindfully is equally important. Taking the time to notice the texture, taste, and aroma of your food engages the senses fully, slowing down the process and encouraging presence. Rather than rushing through breakfast while scrolling through a phone or planning the day, sitting quietly with your meal allows the mind to settle. Each bite becomes an opportunity to anchor yourself in the here and now, to savor, to appreciate, and to recognize the effort that went into creating the food you are consuming. It is a moment of gratitude, a gentle acknowledgement that life provides sustenance, and that nourishment is not only about survival, but about connection, pleasure, and intention. The ritual of breakfast can also be a way to align the mind and spirit with the day. For dreamers who navigate abstract and expansive inner worlds, grounding through the senses can be particularly restorative. As you sip tea, coffee, or warm water alongside your meal, you are integrating the physical, mental, and emotional aspects of yourself into one coherent state. The body feels supported, the mind feels alert, and the spirit feels acknowledged. In this way, the simple act of eating transforms into a sacred, daily practice of harmonizing body and soul. What you choose to eat can influence more than your immediate energy. It can shape your mood, clarity, and creativity for hours. Balanced meals stabilize blood sugar, support brain function, and maintain emotional equilibrium. Dreamers, in particular, may be sensitive to fluctuations in energy or mood because their minds are used to navigating complex dynamic landscapes while asleep. A well-considered breakfast provides a gentle, steady foundation, allowing imagination and focus to coexist without chaos, enabling the dreamer to approach tasks, interactions, and reflections with both creativity and stability. The environment in which you eat also matters. Creating a calm, pleasant space for your breakfast, whether that means sitting near a window with natural light, listening to soft music, or simply clearing a small space free of clutter, enhances the ritual. These details, though subtle, have an impact on the way the body and mind respond. For dreamers whose senses are attuned to nuance, a serene eating environment can heighten the sense of grounding, amplifying the benefits of mindful nourishment. Finally, breakfast is an opportunity to cultivate gratitude and presence. Before taking the first bite, pausing to acknowledge the abundance on your plate, the care that went into preparing it, and the nourishment it will provide sets a tone of mindfulness that echoes throughout the day. For dreamers, this practice bridges the night and the day, merging the creativity of dreams with the conscious intention of waking life. It is a small yet profoundly powerful reminder that care for oneself is an essential part of living fully, that every morning is an opportunity to honor the body, mind, and spirit simultaneously. Through mindful, intentional morning nourishment, the day begins with balance rather than chaos, with presence rather than distraction, and with care rather than neglect. For dreamers, this practice provides a quiet anchor, a stable point from which imagination, creativity, and thoughtful action can unfold naturally, harmoniously, and beautifully. Movement in the morning is a subtle yet profound way to awaken the body and prepare the mind for the day ahead. For dreamers, whose nights are spent navigating landscapes that are boundless, fluid, and sometimes surreal, moving the body upon waking is a gentle tether back to the physical world. It reconnects you to gravity, rhythm, and sensation, reminding every fibre of your being that you are alive, present, and capable of action. The way you move doesn't need to be extreme or strenuous. Even a few stretches, a slow flow of yoga, or a short walk can ignite energy, stimulate circulation, and release tension that has accumulated overnight. Stretching in the morning is more than a way to prevent stiffness. It is a form of dialogue with the body. As you extend your arms, roll your shoulders, or lengthen your spine, you become aware of areas of tightness or fatigue, honoring the signals your body sends after rest. For dreamers, this awareness is especially significant because the mind and body can sometimes operate on different planes. The imagination may soar, but the body, if neglected, can feel heavy or disconnected. Gentle movement bridges this gap, creating harmony between what you feel internally and what you experience physically. Even minimal movement sets in motion a cascade of benefits. Blood begins to flow more freely, carrying oxygen and nutrients to muscles and organs, awakening senses that were dormant in sleep. The nervous system receives signals that the day has begun, reducing morning grogginess and increasing alertness. Endorphins may be released, lifting mood, enhancing motivation, and priming the mind for creativity and focus. For dreamers, this physical activation provides a foundation upon which imagination can thrive, without drifting into lethargy or mental fog. Breath becomes a companion in this morning movement. Coordinating gentle stretches or movements with deep, conscious breaths amplifies the benefits. Inhaling fills the lungs and expands the chest, awakening the body from the inside out. Exhaling releases tension and mental clutter, creating space for clarity and intentionality. The rhythm of breath and movement together forms a subtle meditation, a seamless flow that connects the mind, body, and spirit in a way that feels nurturing rather than forced. Movement in the morning also carries an emotional component. When we engage the body, we signal to ourselves that we are ready to meet the day, that we honor our vitality, and that we are capable of action. For dreamers, this is particularly important because the mind, so accustomed to wandering in vast imaginative realms, sometimes struggles to anchor itself in the practical physical world. By moving the body, you create a bridge that allows creativity to coexist with presence, curiosity to coexist with discipline, and reflection to coexist with intentional action. Even simple practices, like walking barefoot on the floor, swinging the arms gently, or bending forward to touch the toes, have subtle yet cumulative effects. They stimulate nerve endings, activate the core, and remind the body of its own intelligence and strength. For those who enjoy visualization, movement can also be paired with intention, imagining energy flowing through every joint, every muscle, and every cell. This combination of physicality and imagination is particularly potent for dreamers because it merges the ethereal qualities of thought with the tangible reality of the body, creating a sense of integration and empowerment. Consistency is key. When movement becomes a regular part of the morning routine, it shifts from being a task to being a ritual, The body begins to anticipate it, the mind prepares for it, and even the spirit benefits from the rhythm and continuity. Over time, this ritual strengthens not only muscles and flexibility, but also self-discipline, self-awareness, and the sense of being fully embodied. For dreamers, this embodiment is essential. It ensures that the brilliance of imagination does not float untethered, but rather flows through a body that is ready, capable, and resilient. Ultimately, morning movement is not about performance, speed, or intensity. It is about presence, alignment, and care. It is a way of honoring your body after hours of rest, reconnecting it to the world, and setting the tone for a day of creativity, focus, and intention. For the dreamer, it becomes a bridge between the ethereal landscapes of the night and the tangible opportunities of the day. A gentle, grounding ritual that awakens the senses, ignites energy, and harmonizes mind, body, and spirit in preparation for everything the day may bring. The way we dress in the morning carries more significance than most people realize. For dreamers, who often live between worlds in their imaginations, choosing clothing is not merely a practical act. It is a subtle, powerful form of self-expression and an early signal to the mind and body about how the day will unfold. When you intentionally select what to wear, you are creating a bridge between your inner world and the external reality, shaping not only your outward appearance, but also your mindset, energy, and confidence. Each garment, color, texture, and accessory has the potential to influence your emotions, your focus, and even the way others perceive and interact with you. Choosing clothing thoughtfully can feel like a creative ritual. Consider the fabrics against your skin, the softness, the warmth, the coolness, as a way of honoring your body. Paying attention to colors is equally meaningful. Certain shades evoke calm, confidence, or energy, while others inspire introspection or creativity. For dreamers who are attuned to subtle cues and the impact of mood and perception, these choices become more than aesthetic. They are an extension of your personal energy, a way to communicate with yourself and the world without words. Organization plays a crucial role in this process. A cluttered closet or a pile of wrinkled clothes can create unconscious stress, making decision-making feel burdensome at the start of the day. Taking time to maintain an orderly space where each item is visible and accessible allows the morning routine to become smooth, intentional, and even meditative. Dreamers, who may carry a mind already overflowing with ideas from the night, benefit from this simplicity. The act of choosing an outfit in a calm, organized space grounds the mind, offering a tangible sense of control and readiness to face the day. The ritual of dressing also connects to confidence and presence. When you put on clothing that aligns with your mood, intentions, or personal style, you send a signal to your mind that you are prepared, capable, and deserving of respect, both from yourself and from others. For dreamers, who may oscillate between imaginative flights and grounded reality, this alignment reinforces a sense of agency. You begin the day not only inhabiting your body, but also inhabiting the version of yourself you wish to project, allowing internal creativity to coexist with external clarity and purpose. Footwear, accessories, and small details are just as significant. The choice of shoes, jewelry, scarves, or hats can subtly influence posture, comfort, and self-perception. Even minor adjustments, a rolled sleeve, a tucked-in shirt, or a carefully chosen belt, can evoke a sense of readiness, attentiveness, and intentionality. These seemingly small choices ripple outward, affecting mood, body language, and even interactions with others. For dreamers, attention to these details creates a harmonious link between imagination and tangible expression, a way of living deliberately while honoring the playful, explorative nature of thought. Dressing in the morning is also an opportunity to cultivate mindfulness. Rather than rushing through the act mechanically, taking time to notice textures, colors, and fit encourages presence. Observing how clothing moves with your body, how it feels in different positions, and how it complements your personal style creates a quiet, reflective moment. For dreamers, this mindfulness reinforces the connection between mind, body, and environment, turning a practical task into a ritual of self-awareness, intention, and care. There is also a sense of preparation inherent in dressing. By choosing clothes consciously, you are sending a signal to the brain that the day has begun, that you are ready to meet challenges, engage with others, and embrace opportunities. This preparation is not about perfection or conformity. It is about creating a container for your day, one that supports your energy, focus, and creativity. For dreamers, this container is crucial. It allows the imaginative mind to flow freely within the boundaries of practical action, ensuring that ideas can be implemented, shared, and experienced without feeling chaotic or unanchored. Ultimately, morning dressing is a multifaceted ritual that goes far beyond appearance. It is an act of self-respect, creativity, and intention. It bridges the inner and outer worlds, aligns mind and body, and cultivates confidence and presence. For dreamers, it is a daily practice that harmonizes imagination with reality, providing a foundation upon which energy, focus, and creativity can flourish. The simple act of selecting, wearing, and appreciating clothing becomes a statement. You are present, you are intentional, and you are ready to embrace the day fully, while carrying the beauty, fluidity, and expansiveness of your dreams with you. Morning rituals often extend beyond the tangible actions of eating, moving, or dressing. They encompass the subtler practices that shape mood, mindset, and the quality of attention throughout the day. For dreamers, who move fluidly between imagination and reality, these small intentional rituals are particularly powerful. They anchor the mind, foster clarity, and create a sense of continuity between the vivid inner life of dreams and the practical, external world. Lighting a candle, making a cup of tea, journaling, or simply sitting quietly for a few minutes can act as a gentle bridge between the night's creativity and the day's responsibilities. The simple act of pausing before the day fully begins allows the mind to settle. Dreamers often wake with thoughts and images still swirling from the night, some bright and inspiring, others confusing or lingering. By engaging in a quiet morning ritual, you create space for reflection and organization of these thoughts. Sitting with intention for a few moments, whether through meditation, mindful breathing, or even observing the world outside your window, can reduce mental clutter, promote calm, and establish a sense of presence. It is during these moments that the mind can process lingering emotions, let go of unnecessary tension, and cultivate focus. Journaling is a particularly transformative ritual for dreamers. Writing down dreams, reflections, or intentions allows the subconscious mind to be acknowledged and integrated into waking life. This practice can illuminate patterns, reveal insights, and inspire creative ideas that may otherwise be forgotten as the day takes over. Even a brief entry, a few sentences capturing the essence of a dream or a fleeting thought, provides a sense of grounding, transforming ephemeral ideas into tangible reflections. For those whose imagination is active and expansive, journaling creates a bridge between the abstract and the concrete, making internal landscapes actionable and meaningful. Visualization is another potent morning ritual. By spending a few minutes imagining the day ahead, how you wish to feel, what tasks you want to accomplish, or the attitude you wish to embody, you are programming the mind for intention and focus. Dreamers who are adept at vivid mental imagery can harness this skill to cultivate motivation, clarity, and resilience. Visualizing success, calmness, or creativity not only prepares the mind for challenges, but also reinforces the connection between internal desires and external actions, making the abstract tangible and achievable. Morning rituals can also involve small acts of gratitude, recognizing the opportunities, relationships, and simple pleasures in life fosters a mindset of abundance and positivity. Dreamers, whose nights are often filled with rich, imaginative narratives, benefit from this practice as it grounds them in reality and encourages a harmonious balance between fantasy and practical life. Gratitude rituals can be as simple as listing 3 things you appreciate, silently acknowledging the warmth of sunlight on your skin, or noticing the aroma and taste of your morning beverage. These subtle practices recalibrate the mind, reinforcing the notion that the day holds potential and that each moment is worthy of attention. The environment in which morning rituals occur also plays a significant role. Creating a calm, orderly, and aesthetically pleasing space enhances the effectiveness of these practices. For dreamers who may be sensitive to sensory input and emotional resonance, lighting a candle, opening a window for fresh air, or playing soft background music can heighten the sense of ritual and presence. These environmental cues signal to the brain that this time is special, distinct from the rush of the day, and deserving of focus, reflection, and care. Consistency in morning rituals amplifies their impact. When these practices are repeated daily, they become cues for the mind and body, signaling readiness, intention, and self-care. Dreamers, whose inner lives are richly active, benefit immensely from this structure. It allows creativity to flourish without becoming chaotic, grounding imagination in tangible routines that support productivity, emotional balance, and clarity. Over time, morning rituals cultivate resilience, focus, and a profound sense of personal alignment, helping dreamers move seamlessly between inner exploration and external action. Ultimately, morning rituals are an essential tool for nurturing the mind, body, and spirit. They are a bridge connecting the ethereal realms of dreams with the grounded realities of daily life, creating space for presence, reflection, and intention. For dreamers, they provide stability without constraining creativity, a rhythm without rigidity, and a foundation from which energy, inspiration, and thoughtful action can flow naturally. In embracing these quiet, intentional moments, the morning transforms from a simple beginning into a sacred practice that sets the tone for an entire day, ensuring that the mind is clear, the heart is centered, and the spirit is ready to navigate both the ordinary and the extraordinary with grace and purpose. Mindful consumption of breakfast in the morning is an essential practice that extends beyond mere nourishment. It sets the tone for the entire day. For dreamers whose minds often wander through vivid landscapes and intricate thoughts, the way food is approached in the morning can influence energy, focus, mood, and the capacity for creativity. Eating mindfully encourages a connection to the present moment, helping to ground the body while honoring the imaginative nature of the mind. Rather than rushing through a meal or eating mechanically, taking time to savor each bite, notice textures, flavors, and aromas, and appreciate the nourishment being provided transforms breakfast into a ritual that feeds both body and soul. The selection of breakfast foods plays a significant role in sustaining energy and cognitive clarity. Whole grains, fruits, nuts, seeds, and proteins provide a balanced combination of slow-releasing energy, essential vitamins, and minerals that support mental acuity and emotional stability. Dreamers, who often engage in deep introspective thought or creative problem-solving, benefit from this steady source of energy, as it helps prevent the dips in focus or mood that can accompany irregular or unbalanced eating. Choosing foods that are both nourishing and enjoyable allows the body to feel cared for while supporting the mind's expansive potential. The act of eating mindfully itself is a practice in presence. Each bite can be an opportunity to slow down and fully experience the moment. Noticing how food feels in the mouth, the interplay of flavors, and the textures can heighten sensory awareness, grounding the mind in reality while still leaving space for imagination. Chewing slowly, pausing between bites, and allowing the body to signal satiety cultivates a harmonious relationship with food, reinforcing the idea that nourishment is an act of self-respect and intentional care. For dreamers, this deliberate engagement with a physical experience is a gentle anchor, balancing the fluid, often intangible nature of mental activity with tangible sensory input. Hydration is another critical aspect of morning nourishment. Drinking water, herbal teas, or lightly infused beverages replenishes fluids lost overnight and helps activate metabolic processes, improve circulation, and awaken the senses. For dreamers, whose minds are accustomed to moving rapidly between different levels of thought, proper hydration enhances mental clarity, alertness, and focus. It also encourages a gentle rhythm of self-care, signaling that the body's needs are recognized and honored alongside the mind's curiosity and creativity. Breakfast can also be a time for reflection and intention. Some dreamers find it beneficial to combine mindful eating with journaling, visualization, or setting intentions for the day. By engaging the mind in gentle, purposeful activity while nourishing the body, the morning becomes a holistic experience that integrates thought, creativity, and sustenance. Even small gestures, such as expressing gratitude for the meal or acknowledging the effort that went into preparing it, cultivate awareness and foster a sense of connection to the self, to the food, and to the broader environment. The environment in which breakfast is consumed also impacts its effectiveness as a mindful practice. Sitting in a calm, comfortable space, free from distractions like phones, social media, or rushing, allows full attention to be devoted to the meal and the sensations it evokes. For dreamers, this quiet, intentional environment provides a sanctuary where the mind can settle, creativity can incubate, and the day can begin in a grounded, thoughtful manner. Subtle enhancements such as natural light, pleasant scents, or soft background sounds can further heighten the sensory experience and reinforce a sense of ritual and care. Consistency in mindful morning eating builds not only physical health, but also psychological resilience and focus. As this practice becomes a ritual, the mind and body learn to anticipate it as a moment of nourishment, reflection, and grounding. Dreamers, whose internal landscapes can be vast and sometimes overwhelming, benefit from this structure as it provides a reliable anchor that harmonizes the body's needs with the mind's expansive tendencies. Over time, mindful breakfast fosters a balanced rhythm, enhancing both well-being and the capacity to navigate the day with intention, creativity, and clarity. Ultimately, approaching breakfast with mindfulness transforms a simple necessity into a deeply meaningful practice. It nourishes the body, aligns the mind, and establishes a foundation for energy, focus, and creativity throughout the day. For dreamers, it is a bridge between imagination and action, between internal reflection and external engagement, allowing each day to begin not only with physical sustenance, but also with a sense of purpose, presence, and care. In embracing mindful consumption of the morning meal, dreamers cultivate an early day practice that supports vitality, inspires clarity, and encourages a harmonious integration of mind, body, and spirit, creating a starting point from which every hour of the day can unfold with intention, creativity, and balance. Movement in the morning is more than a simple physical activity. It is a vital practice that awakens the body, sharpens the mind, and prepares both for the day ahead. For dreamers, whose thoughts often drift through complex landscapes and imaginative realms, incorporating gentle, intentional movement in the morning provides a grounding and energizing ritual that harmonizes body, mind, and spirit. The body and mind are intimately connected, and by consciously moving in ways that honor both strength and flexibility, the morning becomes a time to cultivate vitality, presence, and balance. Starting the day with movement encourages circulation, oxygenation, and the activation of muscles that may have been still for many hours during sleep. Simple stretching exercises, yoga flows, or light cardio stimulate blood flow, increase energy levels, and improve mental alertness. For dreamers, who may wake with lingering thoughts from the night or a sense of mental fog, this physical activation helps bridge the transition from the ethereal realm of dreams to the grounded reality of the day. Movement acts as a reset button, releasing tension stored in muscles, encouraging the flow of energy, and preparing the body to fully inhabit the present moment. Mindful movement amplifies these benefits by integrating awareness with action, paying attention to the way muscles stretch, the rhythm of the breath, and the alignment of the body transforms exercise from a purely physical routine into a meditative practice. Dreamers, who are often highly attuned to subtleties and patterns, can use mindful movement to cultivate focus, presence, and intentionality. Each deliberate motion becomes an opportunity to connect with the body, honor its capabilities, and acknowledge the interplay between physical sensation and mental clarity. Over time, this mindful awareness fosters resilience, balance, and a sense of harmony that extends far beyond the morning routine. Incorporating breathwork into morning movement enhances the benefits even further. Conscious breathing supports oxygen flow, regulates the nervous system, and grounds the mind. By synchronizing breath with movement, dreamers can create a rhythm that harmonizes thought and action, imagination and reality. Deep, intentional breaths provide mental clarity, reduce stress, and reinforce the body's readiness to engage fully with the day. Breath becomes both a tool for presence and a bridge between internal awareness and external action, helping to align mind and body in a seamless, natural flow. Variety in morning movement is equally important. While some mornings may call for gentle stretching or yoga, others might benefit from brisk walking, light jogging, or more dynamic exercises that invigorate and energize the body. Dreamers often respond well to variety, as it keeps the practice engaging, stimulates different physical and mental capacities, and encourages adaptability. Rotating forms of movement also prevent stagnation, promotes holistic physical development, and nurtures creativity, as the body's increased energy and flexibility support mental exploration and problem solving throughout the day. Movement in the morning also carries psychological benefits. It fosters a sense of accomplishment and confidence, signaling to the mind that the day has begun with intention and care. For dreamers who may be tempted to drift through the morning in a haze of lingering thoughts or distractions, movement provides structure and momentum. Even brief periods of activity can set a tone of focus, motivation, and self-respect that ripples into the rest of the day. The act of moving becomes a declaration of presence. The body is awake, the mind is alert, and the day is ready to be engaged fully. Creating a dedicated space for morning movement enhances the experience. Whether it is a quiet corner for yoga, a sunlit room for stretching, or a nearby park for walking, the environment contributes to the ritual. Dreamers benefit from spaces that are calm, inspiring, and free from distractions, where movement can be experienced as a harmonious, flowing practice rather than a chore. Small details such as music, natural light, or fresh air can elevate the practice, making it enjoyable, immersive, and deeply restorative. Consistency amplifies the transformative effects of morning movement. When the body is activated daily, it not only experiences improved physical fitness, flexibility, and energy, but also cultivates a mental rhythm that supports focus, creativity, and emotional stability. For dreamers whose minds may wander or become overwhelmed by ideas and possibilities, this regular activation acts as an anchor, connecting imaginative thought to practical embodiment and ensuring that creativity is channeled effectively throughout the day. Ultimately, morning movement is a holistic practice that nourishes the body, sharpens the mind, and cultivates presence. It bridges the gap between the inner world of dreams and the external reality of the day, allowing dreamers to begin their mornings with clarity, intention, and vitality. Through gentle stretching, mindful exercise, breathwork, and consistent practice, the morning becomes a space for awakening not only the body, but also the mind and spirit, fostering a sense of harmony, energy, and readiness. By embracing movement as a sacred morning ritual, dreamers can enter each day fully alive, grounded in the present, and poised to engage creatively, thoughtfully, and intentionally with the world around them. Starting the day with intention is one of the most transformative practices a dreamer can cultivate. It goes beyond simply planning tasks or checking items off a to-do list. It involves consciously setting the tone for the day, aligning the mind, body, and spirit, and creating a framework within which both creativity and productivity can flourish. For those who wake with vivid dreams still lingering in their thoughts, setting intentions allows the mind to channel that energy purposefully, transforming fleeting inspiration into actionable focus. It is a gentle yet powerful way to transition from the fluid, imaginative world of sleep into the structured, tangible flow of waking life. Intention setting begins with self-reflection. Before the rush of responsibilities or distractions begins, taking a few quiet moments to pause, breathe, and connect with inner thoughts provides clarity and perspective. Dreamers often wake with a cascade of ideas, emotions, and memories that can feel overwhelming if left unmanaged. By sitting quietly, observing these thoughts without judgment, and identifying what feels most important, one can distill a sense of purpose for the day. This practice nurtures awareness of personal priorities, emotional states, and mental energy, creating a foundation from which the day can unfold harmoniously rather than reactively. Writing intentions down amplifies their power. Journaling or simply noting key focus points transforms abstract thoughts into concrete commitments, bridging the gap between imagination and action. Dreamers, whose minds are rich with creativity and possibility, benefit greatly from externalizing these intentions, as it helps prevent ideas from being lost in mental clutter and encourages follow-through. The process does not require exhaustive planning. Even 3 concise intentions, whether related to personal growth, creative pursuits, or practical tasks, can provide a roadmap that guides decisions, attention, and energy throughout the day. Visualization is another essential tool in the practice of intention setting. By mentally picturing the day ahead, how tasks will unfold, how interactions will occur, or how one wishes to feel, dreamers align their subconscious expectations with conscious goals. Visualization strengthens focus, reduces anxiety, and enhances the ability to respond thoughtfully to challenges rather than react impulsively. It also cultivates a sense of agency, reminding the mind that the day is not merely something to endure, but a canvas upon which intentional actions can be painted. Affirmations can complement intentions, reinforcing confidence, focus, and resilience. Positive, present tense statements such as, "I approach today with clarity and creativity," or "I navigate challenges with patience and insight," serve as gentle reminders of inner capability and purpose. For dreamers, who may be sensitive to internal dialogue and prone to overthinking, affirmations provide a grounding counterbalance, creating a sense of inner stability while still leaving space for imagination and exploration. Over time, this practice strengthens self-belief, emotional regulation, and the alignment of thoughts with meaningful action. Intentions can also be linked to personal values, ensuring that each day aligns with a broader sense of purpose. Dreamers who take the time to identify their core values, such as curiosity, compassion, creativity, or growth, can use intentions to bring these principles into tangible, daily practice. This alignment fosters coherence between internal beliefs and external behaviors, allowing the mind to operate with clarity and integrity. It also encourages mindfulness, as each decision or action can be evaluated through the lens of these values, reducing friction between what one aspires to be and what one actually does. Morning intention setting is most effective when it becomes a consistent ritual. The regular practice creates a mental and emotional rhythm, signaling to the brain that the start of the day is a dedicated space for alignment and focus. For dreamers, whose thoughts may drift rapidly or become entangled in distraction, this consistency offers a stabilizing anchor. Each day begins with purpose, allowing energy to be channeled efficiently, creativity to be nurtured, and challenges to be approached with composure and clarity. Over time, the accumulation of daily intentions creates momentum, reinforcing habits of mindful living, proactive decision-making, and meaningful engagement with both inner and outer worlds. The environment in which intentions are set also plays a crucial role. Quiet, calm spaces free from distraction provide the mind with the optimal conditions to focus inward and engage deeply with reflection. Some dreamers may find it helpful to incorporate subtle sensory cues, such as soft lighting, calming music, or aromatic elements, to enhance focus and signal that this is a dedicated time for self-alignment. By cultivating a supportive environment, the act of intention setting becomes more than a mental exercise. It becomes a ritual imbued with purpose, care, and presence. Ultimately, setting intentions each morning is a practice of empowerment. It transforms the early hours into a period of conscious creation rather than passive reaction. For dreamers, it bridges the ethereal realm of imagination with the tangible realm of action, fostering a sense of control, clarity, and alignment. By reflecting on personal priorities, writing down goals, visualizing outcomes, affirming capabilities, and honoring core values. Dreamers can step into each day with focus, energy, and a deep connection to what truly matters. This practice ensures that the day is not merely lived, but intentionally crafted, allowing the mind, body, and spirit to move in harmony toward meaningful, fulfilling experiences. Gratitude in the morning is a subtle yet profoundly transformative practice that can completely reshape how a dreamer experiences the day ahead. It is more than a polite acknowledgement or fleeting thought. It is a deliberate act of recognizing and appreciating the abundance, beauty, and small miracles present in life. For dreamers, whose minds are naturally attuned to imagination, possibility, and wonder, practicing gratitude provides a grounding counterbalance, a way to anchor expansive thoughts in a sense of presence, appreciation, and emotional richness. By starting the day with gratitude, one cultivates a mindset that prioritizes positivity, awareness, and connection, setting the tone for interactions, creativity, and decision-making throughout the day. The practice begins with attention. Dreamers often wake with a flood of ideas, lingering emotions from dreams, or mental noise that can feel overwhelming. Pausing to focus intentionally on what is good, meaningful, or inspiring provides a moment of clarity amidst this mental activity. Gratitude does not require grand gestures. It thrives in noticing the often overlooked aspects of life, the warmth of sunlight streaming through a window, the softness of a blanket, the sound of birds outside, the first sip of coffee or tea. By intentionally observing these small yet significant details, the mind is drawn into a state of presence, and the day begins with a heightened awareness of life's inherent value. Writing down thoughts of gratitude amplifies their impact. Dreamers can benefit greatly from journaling 3 to 5 things they are grateful for each morning. The act of putting pen to paper transforms fleeting feelings into tangible reflections, solidifying a mental framework of appreciation. This physical recording creates a feedback loop. Seeing gratitude documented reinforces positive thinking, encourages mindfulness, and trains the brain to naturally seek and recognize sources of fulfillment throughout the day. The simplicity of this ritual masks its profound effect. Over time, consistent gratitude journaling rewires perception, making challenges easier to navigate, joy more readily felt, and the mind more resilient to stress or distraction. Gratitude also shapes perspective. It encourages a focus on what is available, possible, and nourishing, rather than what is lacking or problematic. For dreamers who may become lost in idealized visions, worries, or comparisons, this practice provides a grounding lens through which reality is appreciated without dampening creativity. A morning rooted in gratitude fosters optimism, reduces negativity bias, and nurtures emotional equilibrium. Recognizing even small blessings trains the mind to approach life with curiosity, kindness, and an openness to new opportunities, reinforcing a sense of hope and empowerment as the day unfolds. Integrating gratitude with mindful breathing enhances its effect. Deep, intentional breaths while reflecting on positive elements of life synchronize body and mind, cultivating calm, clarity, and a sense of centeredness. The act of breathing deeply while acknowledging sources of gratitude reinforces connection to the present moment, calming mental chatter and reducing stress. For dreamers, who often carry the residual intensity of dreams or complex thoughts into waking life, this practice serves as a stabilizing force, grounding imagination while allowing creativity to flow with intentionality rather than chaos. Gratitude can also extend beyond personal reflection, fostering connection with others. Dreamers may find it valuable to consider not only what they appreciate in their own lives, but also in the people around them. Recognizing kindness, support, inspiration, and relationships enhances empathy, compassion, and emotional intelligence. By beginning the day with awareness of interpersonal blessings, interactions throughout the day can be approached with warmth, patience, and generosity, amplifying the ripple effect of gratitude into the wider world. Morning gratitude is most effective when it is ritualized. Consistency establishes a reliable framework in which the mind automatically gravitates toward awareness, appreciation, and positivity. For dreamers, who often navigate fluid and expansive mental landscapes, having a structured moment dedicated to gratitude provides stability and intentionality. Over time, this repeated practice cultivates a profound sense of well-being, resilience, and emotional balance, reinforcing the notion that life is abundant, meaningful, and full of moments worthy of recognition. The environment also plays a significant role in enhancing gratitude practice. A quiet, serene space, free from immediate distractions, allows the mind to focus fully on reflection and appreciation. Elements such as natural light, soft sounds, or a cup of tea can deepen the sensory experience, heightening awareness and anchoring the mind in the present moment. For dreamers, creating a supportive environment ensures that gratitude is experienced fully, integrating physical, mental, and emotional layers into a holistic practice. Ultimately, morning gratitude is not merely a habit, it is a way of approaching life with attentiveness, reverence, and joy. It nurtures emotional health, strengthens mindfulness, and provides a lens through which the world is experienced more fully and positively. For dreamers, it harmonizes the boundless nature of imagination with grounded awareness, ensuring that creativity, focus, and intention are infused with appreciation and purpose. By dedicating moments each morning to consciously recognize blessings, both small and significant, dreamers cultivate a foundation of positivity, resilience, and mindful presence that enhances every thought, action, and interaction throughout the day. Mindful consumption in the morning is a subtle but powerful practice that shapes not only physical health but also mental clarity, emotional balance, and creative energy. For dreamers, whose minds are often highly active and imaginative, the choices made in the early hours can set the tone for how thoughts, emotions, and ideas flow throughout the day. What we consume in the morning, whether food, drink, media, or even social interactions, feeds not only the body but also the mind, influencing energy levels, mood, focus, and overall well-being. Approaching these choices intentionally allows the day to begin with nourishment, balance, and purpose, rather than reactive or scattered energy. Starting with the body, the food and beverages consumed in the morning directly affect energy, cognition, and emotional state. Simple, wholesome meals that combine protein, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates provide sustained energy, improve focus, and stabilize mood. Dreamers, whose creativity may surge at unpredictable moments, benefit from fueling their bodies in ways that prevent energy crashes and mental fog. For example, a breakfast of eggs, oatmeal, or smoothie bowls with natural ingredients provides both nourishment and mental clarity. Hydration is equally important. Water, herbal teas, or other caffeine-free fluids help awaken the body gently, support digestion, and flush out toxins accumulated overnight. Consuming stimulants or processed foods immediately upon waking may feel convenient, but they often contribute to fluctuating energy and scattered attention, which can hinder the ability to engage fully with morning intentions and creative pursuits. Beyond physical sustenance, mindful consumption extends to mental and emotional intake. The first information absorbed in the morning, news, social media, emails, or entertainment, shapes mindset, mood, and focus. For dreamers who are naturally sensitive to external stimuli, consuming content mindlessly can easily trigger distraction, comparison, or anxiety. Choosing uplifting, informative, or inspiring materials instead fosters curiosity, motivation, and positivity. This might include reading a few pages of a favorite book, listening to a podcast that nurtures growth or creativity, or reflecting on personal goals. Mindful consumption of information allows the mind to remain clear, intentional, and balanced, rather than being pulled in multiple directions by reactive responses to external input. The environment in which consumption occurs is equally important. Creating a peaceful, intentional space for morning nourishment, whether eating breakfast at a clean, sunlit table, sipping tea near a window, or listening to soft, calming music, enhances the experience and reinforces mindfulness. Dreamers benefit from treating these moments as rituals rather than rushed routines, cultivating awareness of taste, texture, and aroma, as well as observing thoughts and feelings that arise. By paying attention to both internal and external experiences during consumption, the mind-body connection is strengthened, and the morning becomes a nurturing foundation for the entire day. Mindful consumption also includes awareness of pacing and attention. Eating slowly, savoring each bite, and noticing the effects of food on the body encourages better digestion, satisfaction, and self-awareness. Dreamers, whose minds may wander or become absorbed in ideas, can use this practice to cultivate patience, presence, and focus. Similarly, approaching media or information intake with discernment, limiting exposure to content that induces stress, comparison, or negativity, protects mental and emotional energy. The morning becomes a deliberate filter for what is welcomed into consciousness, supporting creativity, clarity, and emotional balance rather than reactionary or scattered mental states. Incorporating ritual and intention into consumption further enhances its impact. Before eating or drinking, taking a moment to acknowledge gratitude for nourishment, to breathe deeply, and to set an intention for mindful engagement strengthens the alignment between body, mind, and spirit. For dreamers, who often operate in expansive mental spaces, this practice grounds imagination in presence, linking creative energy with practical mindful attention. It reinforces the notion that every choice, even seemingly mundane acts like eating breakfast or reading a few pages of a book, carries the potential to shape energy, focus, and overall experience throughout the day. The benefits of mindful consumption extend beyond the morning, influencing long-term habits, resilience, and well-being. By consciously choosing what enters the body and mind at the start of the day, dreamers establish patterns of self-care, intentionality, and awareness that ripple throughout daily routines. These habits promote sustained energy, enhanced creativity, emotional stability, and mental clarity, creating a positive feedback loop in which conscious choices reinforce presence, focus, and holistic nourishment. Ultimately, mindful consumption in the morning is an act of self-respect, awareness, and alignment. It reminds dreamers that every interaction with food, drink, information, or environment carries weight, shaping how the day is experienced and navigated. By approaching consumption with intention, choosing nourishing foods, limiting reactive media, creating a peaceful environment, and cultivating mindful presence, dreamers can transform ordinary morning routines into rituals of empowerment, creativity, and well-being. Each mindful choice strengthens the connection between body and mind, sets a tone of balance and clarity, and allows the day to unfold with focus, energy, and intentionality. Morning movement is an essential practice that brings vitality, mental clarity, and emotional balance to the start of the day, and for dreamers, it serves as a bridge between the imaginative space of sleep and the tangible physical reality of waking life. The act of moving the body in the morning does more than simply warm muscles or burn calories. It activates energy systems, awakens the nervous system, and primes the mind for focus and creativity. For those whose mornings often begin with lingering dreams or scattered thoughts, incorporating movement provides structure, rhythm, and a sense of embodied presence, allowing the day to begin with alertness, intention, and flow. Movement in the morning can take many forms, from gentle stretching and yoga to brisk walks, dynamic exercises, or even mindful dancing. Gentle stretching loosens stiff muscles, improves circulation, and promotes flexibility, while also allowing the mind to transition gradually from sleep to wakefulness. Dreamers often carry vivid dream imagery or emotional residue from sleep, and slow, intentional movement provides a grounding space to process and release lingering mental or emotional energy. Yoga, with its combination of breathwork, stretches, and mindful focus, encourages the integration of body and mind, fostering calm yet alert energy that can guide the day. More vigorous activity, such as cardio exercises, jogging, or strength training, stimulates the release of endorphins and other neurotransmitters that elevate mood, sharpen focus, and increase energy levels. For dreamers, this boost in neurochemical activity not only improves physical vitality, but also supports cognitive function, creative problem solving, and emotional resilience. Engaging in movement that elevates the heart rate and challenges the body establishes a rhythm for the day, signaling to the brain that it is time to transition from rest and introspection to action and engagement. Breath and awareness play a critical role in morning movement. Combining deliberate breathing with motion enhances oxygenation, energizes the body, and promotes a sense of centered presence. For example, in yoga or stretching routines, coordinating inhalations and exhalations with specific poses cultivates mindfulness, reduces tension, and harmonizes mental and physical states. Even in more dynamic exercises, focusing on the breath anchors attention, prevents distraction, and fosters a sense of control and embodiment. Dreamers, whose minds may wander or dwell in abstract thought, benefit greatly from this integration, as it channels mental energy into deliberate, purposeful action. The environment in which movement occurs can amplify its benefits. Natural light, fresh air, or outdoor spaces provide sensory stimulation that elevates mood, promotes vitamin D synthesis, and deepens connection to the external world. For dreamers, exposure to nature and sunlight after waking not only enhances alertness, but also encourages reflection, inspiration, and emotional grounding. Music or soundscapes can further enhance the experience, creating rhythm, motivation, or serenity, depending on the chosen tempo and style. Structuring the space and atmosphere intentionally transforms morning movement from a mechanical routine into a multisensory ritual that nurtures body, mind, and spirit. Consistency is key in establishing a morning movement practice. Regularity trains both body and mind, creating predictable energy patterns and supporting sustained mental clarity and focus. For dreamers, who may fluctuate between highly imaginative states and scattered attention, a consistent practice offers stability, providing a reliable anchor each morning. Over time, this ritual enhances resilience, improves posture and mobility, strengthens cardiovascular health, and cultivates a mental framework that integrates creativity with purposeful action. Movement in the morning also enhances emotional regulation. Physical activity helps release tension, reduce stress hormones, and stabilize mood, creating a foundation of emotional equilibrium from which the day can be approached with calm and clarity. Dreamers, who may experience heightened emotional sensitivity or vivid mental imagery, find that movement serves as a release valve, transforming mental or emotional energy into productive, energizing, and grounding action. In addition to physical and mental benefits, morning movement supports creativity and problem solving. The act of engaging the body stimulates neural pathways, improves blood flow to the brain, and encourages divergent thinking. Dreamers often possess rich inner worlds and imaginative capacities, and movement provides a way to translate this energy into tangible inspiration and creative output. Even a short walk or a few minutes of stretching can catalyze new ideas, solutions, and insights, turning the body into a conduit for mental and emotional exploration. Ultimately, incorporating movement into the morning is an act of respect and care for both the body and mind. It establishes a foundation of energy, presence, and clarity that supports the rest of the day, helping dreamers transition from the fluid space of sleep to a purposeful, creative, and balanced waking state. By engaging in mindful stretches, dynamic exercises, or outdoor activities, and by integrating breath, awareness, and intention, the morning becomes a ritual of empowerment, aligning physical vitality with mental focus and emotional stability. This practice transforms ordinary mornings into intentional, energizing beginnings, setting the tone for creativity, productivity, and overall well-being throughout the day. Journaling in the morning is a profound practice that allows dreamers to capture the richness of their inner world, clarify intentions, and organize thoughts before the day fully unfolds. Unlike a hurried to-do list or fleeting mental notes, morning journaling is a deliberate act of reflection, expression, and self-connection. For dreamers whose minds are naturally expansive, imaginative, and often scattered, journaling provides a structure to externalize thoughts, explore emotions, and document insights that might otherwise vanish into the ether of memory. This act not only organizes mental clutter, but also cultivates mindfulness, self-awareness, and creative flow, making it an indispensable tool for personal growth and intentional living. The process of morning journaling begins with creating a conducive environment. Quiet spaces, soft lighting, and comfortable seating invite the mind to settle and focus. For dreamers who often wake with residual images, emotions, or narrative threads from dreams, this environment provides a safe and welcoming container for exploration. Incorporating elements such as a favorite pen, textured paper, or soothing background music can heighten sensory awareness and make the act of writing feel ritualistic, turning journaling from a mundane task into a meaningful and immersive experience. Morning journaling serves multiple functions, each contributing to mental clarity and emotional balance. It can be used to capture dreams, noting both the literal events and the emotions, symbols, or themes present. This practice allows dreamers to mine the subconscious for insights, inspiration, and creative ideas, transforming ephemeral dreamscapes into tangible resources for the day. Beyond dream analysis, journaling is a space for setting intentions, articulating goals, and mapping out priorities. Writing down intentions not only clarifies what is important, but also engages the mind in active problem-solving, planning, and commitment, establishing a sense of purpose that guides actions and decisions throughout the day. The benefits of journaling extend deeply into emotional regulation. By expressing feelings, concerns, or anxieties on paper, the mind gains distance from swirling emotions, reducing stress and enhancing perspective. Dreamers who may be highly sensitive or prone to overthinking find that articulating emotions in writing allows them to process and release internal tension. This externalization fosters self-compassion, emotional clarity, and resilience, as journaling provides a private, non-judgmental space for acknowledging both strengths and vulnerabilities. Journaling can also be a catalyst for creativity. For dreamers, mornings are often a liminal space between the subconscious of sleep and the conscious engagement of the day. Capturing ideas, reflections, or spontaneous insights during this window allows creative impulses to be documented before they dissipate. Free writing, brainstorming, or even poetic expression can generate innovative solutions, spark artistic inspiration, or simply provide a joyful outlet for imagination. Over time, this practice cultivates a rich personal archive of thoughts, ideas, and reflections, serving as a resource for both practical problem-solving and creative exploration. Consistency is crucial in maximizing the benefits of morning journaling. Establishing a routine in which journaling becomes a habitual part of the start of the day creates a stable mental framework and reinforces the practice as a grounding ritual. Even brief sessions of 5 to 15 minutes can have a profound impact, allowing dreamers to connect with their inner world, organize thoughts, and set intentions with clarity. The act of committing to daily journaling also signals self-discipline and care, fostering a sense of agency and mindfulness that permeates other areas of life. In addition to internal reflection, morning journaling can serve as a tool for gratitude, tracking accomplishments, or envisioning the day ahead. By documenting things one is grateful for, successes from previous days, or desired outcomes for the current day, dreamers cultivate positivity, focus, and proactive energy. This practice encourages an optimistic perspective, reduces negative mental spirals, and reinforces the habit of noticing progress, opportunity, and beauty in everyday life. Journaling also strengthens self-understanding and personal growth over time. Reviewing previous entries allows dreamers to identify patterns, recognize growth, and gain perspective on recurring thoughts, challenges, or aspirations. This long-term reflection builds self-awareness and emotional intelligence, enabling more conscious decision-making and intentional living. The written word becomes a mirror, reflecting the evolving landscape of thoughts, dreams, and feelings, offering clarity that the mind alone may struggle to achieve. Ultimately, morning journaling is an act of connection with oneself, with creativity, and with the day ahead. It transforms idle or scattered thoughts into structured insight, emotional release, and intentional planning. For dreamers, it provides a bridge between the expansive inner world and the practical demands of waking life, anchoring imagination in clarity, reflection, and purposeful action. By committing to this practice daily, the mind becomes sharper, emotions become balanced, and creativity flourishes, ensuring that each day begins not just with awareness, but with deliberate alignment, insight, and inspiration. Morning sunlight is one of the most powerful, yet often overlooked tools for setting the tone of the day, especially for dreamers who thrive on imagination, energy, and emotional balance. Exposure to natural light in the early hours signals to the body that it is time to wake, regulating circadian rhythms, boosting mood, and enhancing alertness. For those who spend their mornings transitioning from the fluid, abstract world of dreams to the concrete reality of the day, sunlight acts as both a physical and psychological anchor, helping the mind and body synchronize and energize in harmony with the natural environment. Sunlight stimulates the production of serotonin, a neurotransmitter that enhances mood, focus, and emotional stability. For dreamers who may experience heightened sensitivity or fluctuating emotional states, this natural boost can counteract grogginess, anxiety, or mental fog, providing clarity and optimism that colours the entire morning. Even brief exposure, stepping outside for a few minutes, or sitting by a sunlit window, can have profound effects on mental energy, emotional balance, and cognitive performance. The warmth and brightness of the sun provide not only physiological benefits, but also an uplifting sensory experience that encourages presence, awareness, and connection to the external world. Beyond chemical and physiological effects, sunlight shapes daily rhythms, signaling to the body when it is time to rise and engage. The morning light helps suppress melatonin, the sleep hormone, naturally transitioning the body from rest to activity. For dreamers, who often have irregular sleep patterns or vivid nocturnal imaginations, sunlight provides a reliable environmental cue that reinforces wakefulness, attentiveness, and readiness for action. Consistent morning exposure contributes to better sleep quality at night, more stable energy levels, and improved mental clarity throughout the day. The psychological impact of morning sunlight is equally significant. Light has an uplifting effect on mood and emotional state, reducing feelings of lethargy, depression, or overwhelm. For creative individuals or dreamers, the brightness of early sun can inspire thought, encourage reflection, and awaken imagination. Sunlight can be incorporated intentionally into morning routines, sitting outdoors with a cup of tea, going for a walk, or simply opening blinds and letting rays fill the room. These moments not only provide physiological benefits, but also create a mindful pause, offering time for observation, gratitude, and alignment with the natural world. Sunlight also enhances focus and cognitive function. Exposure to morning light improves alertness, reaction times, and attention span, helping dreamers transition from the diffuse, imaginative state of sleep into a more structured and intentional mindset. Studies show that natural light positively impacts productivity, memory, and problem-solving ability, all of which are crucial for dreamers who seek to channel creativity into meaningful actions. By aligning morning routines with sunlight, the mind becomes sharper, more present, and better able to engage with the day's challenges and opportunities. Creating intentional interaction with morning sunlight can also integrate with other morning habits. Combining sunlight exposure with gentle movement, stretching, or meditation enhances both physical and mental benefits. The warmth of the sun on the skin and the visual stimulation of natural light engage multiple senses, reinforcing presence, grounding, and awareness. For dreamers, this multisensory experience strengthens the connection between body and mind, encouraging holistic engagement with the morning and a sense of alignment that lasts throughout the day. The timing and consistency of sunlight exposure are critical. Ideally, stepping outside within the first hour of waking provides the strongest benefits for circadian rhythm regulation and mental clarity. Even on cloudy days, diffused sunlight is effective in signaling wakefulness and boosting mood. For dreamers who may struggle with motivation or feel sluggish in the mornings, creating a ritual of morning light exposure, whether walking outside, sitting by a window, or engaging in quiet reflection in sunlight, establishes a dependable anchor that fosters energy, optimism, and clarity. Finally, morning sunlight fosters a sense of connection and presence. The interplay of warmth, brightness, and natural surroundings encourages mindfulness, gratitude, and awareness of the moment. For dreamers, whose minds often dwell in past memories or future imaginings, these moments in sunlight cultivate grounding, focus, and a tangible connection to reality, while still honoring the imaginative and creative energy that fuels dreams. By welcoming sunlight intentionally into the morning routine, the day begins with vitality, clarity, and alignment, creating a foundation of energy, emotional stability, and inspiration that carries forward into every aspect of life. Mindful reflection in the morning is a transformative practice that allows dreamers to begin the day with awareness, clarity, and intentionality. Unlike hurried routines or distracted mornings spent reacting to notifications and obligations, taking dedicated time to reflect encourages a deep connection with one's thoughts, emotions, and intentions. For dreamers, whose minds naturally navigate abstract ideas, imaginative scenarios, and emotional currents, reflection provides a grounding counterbalance, helping to translate the richness of their inner world into purposeful, actionable energy for the day ahead. Morning reflection begins with stillness. Sitting quietly, closing the eyes, and observing thoughts without judgment creates a mental space where the mind can settle. Dreamers often wake with remnants of dreams, fleeting ideas, or emotional residues from sleep, and reflection offers a way to process these fragments, integrate insights, and release lingering tension. This stillness can be paired with slow, intentional breathing, which not only calms the nervous system, but also increases focus and presence. The combination of quiet observation and conscious breath establishes a foundation of mindfulness, allowing dreamers to approach the day with clarity and centeredness. During reflection, it is helpful to consider both internal and external landscapes. Internally, one can observe emotional states, lingering thoughts, and mental patterns, recognizing what carries over from yesterday and what energy is available for the present day. Dreamers, whose minds are often vivid and highly sensitive, benefit from acknowledging both positive and challenging emotions, giving them space to be understood without being overwhelming. Externally, reflection may include observing the environment, the morning light, or the sensations of the body, reinforcing presence and connection to the world beyond the mind. This dual focus strengthens awareness, grounding imaginative energy in tangible experience. Reflection also provides a structured opportunity to set intentions for the day. By contemplating priorities, desired outcomes, and personal goals, dreamers can align their imagination with purposeful action. Rather than being swept along by the currents of external demands, intentional reflection allows for conscious decision-making, ensuring that the day begins with clarity and direction. Writing down these reflections, whether through journaling, sketching, or bullet points, further solidifies intention, creating a bridge between thought and action. Documenting reflections also serves as a reference point for self-awareness over time, revealing patterns, growth, and recurring themes in thought and behavior. Beyond practical planning, morning reflection nurtures emotional resilience. Recognizing and processing emotions early in the day prevents them from unconsciously influencing decisions and interactions. Dreamers who may experience amplified emotional responses or vivid imaginative experiences find that structured reflection offers a safe container for acknowledging and understanding feelings. Techniques such as noting 3 things one feels grateful for, identifying challenges to navigate, or observing emotional reactions without judgment enhance emotional intelligence, self-compassion, and mental clarity. Mindful reflection in the morning can also be an avenue for creative inspiration. Dreamers often awaken with ideas, metaphors, or symbolic imagery from dreams that carry profound insights or artistic potential. Reflection provides a space to explore these impressions, consider their significance, and imagine how they might inform work, creative projects, or problem solving. By taking the time to observe and contemplate, the mind transforms abstract dream energy into actionable creativity, bridging the subconscious and conscious realms. The practice of reflection becomes even more powerful when integrated with other morning rituals, such as movement, journaling, or exposure to sunlight. Combining these elements enhances the mind-body connection, reinforces clarity and focus, and establishes a holistic approach to starting the day. For instance, reflecting after a gentle stretch or mindful walk can deepen awareness, while journaling insights drawn from reflection solidifies them in memory and action. The synergy of these practices supports overall well-being, creativity, and productivity. Consistency is essential for cultivating the full benefits of morning reflection. Making reflection a daily habit signals to the mind and body that the start of the day is a dedicated time for presence, self-awareness, and intentionality. Over time, this repeated practice strengthens focus, emotional stability, and the ability to approach challenges with a calm, considered mindset. Dreamers, whose thoughts may otherwise scatter or drift, find that regular reflection creates an anchor, providing structure, clarity, and a sense of personal empowerment that carries throughout the day. Ultimately, mindful reflection in the morning is more than a habit. It is a conscious act of self-connection and preparation. It transforms the first moments of waking into a period of clarity, awareness, and alignment, allowing dreamers to bridge the imaginative space of sleep with the active, purposeful demands of the day. By observing the mind, processing emotions, setting intentions, and exploring creative impulses, reflection cultivates a balanced, grounded, and inspired start, ensuring that each day unfolds with intentional energy, insight, and presence.